You're watching HCC News with Hannah Arthur, Rachel Madrid, and Evan Williams.
Hello and welcome to another edition of HCC News. I'm Rachel Madrid.
And I'm Hannah Arthur. Here's what's been making headlines around Hutchinson this week. Looking to change your career or brush up on your skills? The Career and Tech Ed Academy has many cutting-edge courses for high school and adult students. They held an open house this past Tuesday to focus on next-generation careers and to introduce students to area employers.
Well, this is what we're deeming the Next Generation Technical Careers event. It's our attempt to not only highlight courses and programs available through the Academy and through Hutchinson Community College, but also to highlight high-wage, high-skill, high-demand occupations and jobs in the area. So we want to match up students, both high school and adult students, with employers and with training opportunities.
It's the first time we've done this. We're trying to get the word out about occupations for which we have not enough graduates. There are more jobs than graduates, and these are in computer and industrial technology. They are occupations that you can get started with 1 or 2 years of college education, and they all are good quality occupations with regard to salaries and benefits and working conditions. We call it Next Generation because it is it's a new industrial revolution, really, because of computer technology. There's a lot of automation. Manufacturing is not what we traditionally think of in terms of jobs that are very physical and dirty or low wage, that kind of thing.
No, we're just very excited about the opportunity to match students with employers. We think that's the key. A lot of times we're always just matching to enroll in programs. We want to have that, not just that pairing, but have that triangle of students, training, and employment, tying all those together. I think it's pretty exciting.
If you're curious about this area, just get online at www.hutchcc.edu. And our department is Computer and Industrial Technology, so it's CIT. And it's a great time to begin because classes begin in January. High school students, juniors and seniors, can take classes as well as those who are adults. And we've got enough time for people who are adults to get financial aid and for high school students to talk to their counselors.
To get in the Christmas spirit and have a little fun before finals week, HCC held a Student Appreciation Day this past Wednesday. Santa and Mrs. Claus stopped by for photos with students. There were also goodies and gifts galore. The fall semester concludes next week with finals, but you can register now for interim or spring classes. And a reminder for students, book buybacks on main campus start Monday and runs through the 14th. Scholarship students must return their books no later than 4 p.m. next Friday.
On Sunday, December 2nd, Santa was in Hutchinson to help raise money for Reins of Hope, a nonprofit therapeutic horseback riding program. The event was hosted by Chris Block of Fibonacci Photography. At the Santa and Me photo event, families could bring their child in for photos with Santa, a trained volunteer from Reins of Hope and a retired pastor, while helping support children with disabilities. Chris is also a special education teacher, so she understands how scary it can be for children to have their photo taken, which is why she started her photography business, specially designed to be sensory friendly. About 40 children came to the event, and Fibonacci Photography will be sponsoring several sets of riding lessons to the children of Reins of Hope.
The HCC Blue Dragon football team took home their 4th straight Salt City Bowl win this past Saturday against the Iowa Central Tritons. Reserve quarterback Cody Cook threw for 272 yards and 5 touchdowns after entering the game late in the second quarter. Cook moved from receiver to quarterback, replacing starter Luke Barnes, who injured his throwing hand early in the game. Down 7-0, Cook guided the Dragons to 2 touchdown drives and a 14-7 lead in the first half. 2 special team errors, which led to Triton touchdowns, left the Dragons trailing 21-14 with 6 minutes left in the third. But HCC came back to win 41-21 and finished off the season 9-3. Game MVPs included Cody Cook on offense and Kenny Flowers on defense. The Dragons cinched a 12th place ranking in the NJCAA poll.
Speaking of polls, both HCC basketball teams moved up in the NJCAA poll this week. Tied for the most wins in the nation, the men's basketball team climbed to 4th place on Tuesday. That's the highest ranking HCC has held since being ranked number 1 in January of 2011. The women's team also moved up and are ranked number 2 in the NJCAA Division I women's poll. The Hutch women spent 8 straight weeks at number 2 last season. Both the men's and women's teams are in action this Friday and Saturday for the Hutchinson Clinic Classic in the sports arena.
If you've ever had to dodge cars crossing 11th Street, you know how dangerous it can be. This past Tuesday, the Hutchinson City Council made the decision to install a new improved pedestrian-activated red light in front of the Kansas Cosmosphere on 11th Avenue. 2 recent accidents have occurred at the intersection involving pedestrians being struck by cars. The city will seek a cost share with the Cosmosphere and HCC on the signal.
The Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center continues to expand its movie lineup. This weekend with Taken 2 in the new Digital Dome Theater, Liam Neeson returns as Brian Mills, a retired CIA agent who must once again use his skills to save his loved ones. Showtimes are daily at 6 p.m. with an extra showing at 8 p.m. Saturday. And there are more great features coming in the future, including Rise of the Guardians, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, and The Hobbit. Check cosmo.org for dates and pricing.
On Friday, music is in the air at the HCC Winter Symphonic Band concert. Join the band as they present a variety of holiday music in the Stringer Fine Arts Center starting at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $7 with students and staff free with ID.
More holiday fun downtown this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit Santa and Mrs. Claus and enjoy a carriage ride in DCI Park every Saturday until Christmas. Bring the children to build their own gingerbread house at the Hutchinson Recreation Commission at 15 East 1st. All activities are free.
The Kansas Department of Transportation has switched traffic on US 50 to Anderson Road to the 2 newly constructed US 50 lanes. The switch is being made to begin the removal of old sections of the highway and construction of the new US 50 interchange at Anderson Road. The only downside, no left turns will be allowed from Anderson Road to US 50. Drivers on Anderson Road can still turn right or cross over the highway, but signs will be installed advising drivers no left turns allowed.
A maintenance employee at Presbyterian Church is being credited with scaring away a burglar after responding to a security alarm. Shortly after 10 p.m. Tuesday, Stacy Unruh arrived to check on the alarm, assuming bats or pigeons had set it off. Just after she turned off the alarm, she heard footsteps and a loud boom and witnessed a white male running out of the church. Unruh took off after the suspect, but eventually returned to the church and called the police. Nothing was taken, but the church sustained a broken window to a downstairs children's room. Police are asking anyone with information about the crime to call police at 694-2834. Callers can remain anonymous and could be eligible for a cash reward by contacting Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS.
If your Twitter feed is lacking in theology and faith, consider following the Pope's new account. Under his personal handle @Pontifex, the Pope has been responding live with 2 questions about faith during his weekly general audience. After only 10 hours of the Vatican's announcement, Benedict had already accrued nearly 250,000 followers without even sending out his first tweet. If you have any questions for the inaugural papal, tweet #AskPontifex and the Pope will likely respond. Subsequent tweets will be the Pope's own pearls of wisdom. So Hannah, are you going to be following the Pope on Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter, so I will not be following the Pope. But if I did, he'd be the first person I'd look up. What about you?
I can't say I'm going to really follow him. No, sorry.
Stay with us. When we come back, Evan is here with the latest in media news, and we'll find out students' thoughts on the Mayan doomsday prophecy in this week's Campus Talk.
Welcome back to HCC News. I'm Evan Williams, and here's the Media Minute. The Walking Dead has just had their mid-season finale, and they're once again topping the charts, reaching 10.5 million viewers. The show will return February 10th, 2013 at its regular time. And it looks like Netflix has finally struck a deal with Disney for the ability to stream Disney, Pixar, and Marvel movies using their service. But unfortunately, it's not until 2016 that they get the exclusive rights for streaming. So for now, we have the classics like Dumbo and Alice in Wonderland. And finally, the highly anticipated first-person shooter Far Cry 3 released this Tuesday, receiving high marks from critics and users alike. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Back over to Hannah at the news desk.
Thanks, Evan. December 21st is just a couple weeks away, the date the Mayan calendar ends and doomsdayers predict will be the end of the world. We wanted to find out if students are doing anything to prepare for both doomsday and finals in this week's Campus Talk.
What are you doing to prepare for finals?
Studying. I'm about to go study right now. Y'all, taking my time. I gotta go study. What about you, Tony?
Hit them books. The books.
Actually, yeah. I work too, so I kind of in between on my breaks. I study and I do 15-minute increments on studying.
I rewrite my notes, and then I have a few friends that run flashcards, and so that's how we're going to study.
I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty, watching a lot of TV. I'm not really doing too much studying.
A lot of studying, library time, study groups, things like that.
For finals, I'm actually going through all the review pages in my textbooks and just making sure I have all my homework done.
Sleep and a lot of studying.
Same here.
Forgetting what sleep is and just studying.
Are you doing anything to prepare for the end of the world?
No. By my calculations, whenever the Mayan calendar was made, there wasn't no such thing as leap year. And by that calculations, the end of the earth should have been around October 13th.
I'm buying a lot of beef jerky, a lot of Honey Nut Cheerios, and playing a lot of Call of Duty. I think that'll get me ready for the world to come to an end.
No. Just gonna stay with my family, I guess just in case. You never know what'll happen, so.
Do what I do every day, live my life the way I want.
Nah, I don't really, believe in all that. But if anything, I can see there being like a big old zombie apocalypse, so I'm prepared for that. I got my axes ready, I got my caves and stuff, my dynamite, muscles.
Just live life, man. Just live life. If it happens, it happens. Live life.
Not really. I don't know. I'm not really getting excited over that. But if it happens, I guess I'll be proven wrong.
So what do you think will really happen on December 21st?
Absolutely nothing. I think the world is just going to stay the same. It's not going to end that day. So what do you think is going to happen?
Well, whatever happens, I'm going to be at home with my dogs, machete on deck, ready to go. Nothing is going to catch me off guard, so. Well, that will wrap it up for this edition of HCC News. Join us next week for our final fall episode. For HCC News, I'm Hannah Arthur.
And I'm Rachel Madrid. Have a great week.
HCC News is a production of the Broadcast and Media Technology program of Hutchinson Community College. For more information on the program or to submit your story ideas, please call 665-3433.